With that, I'm back in JSBin, and I want to talk about the other part I was mentioning. The possibility that you don't have a bug in your application, but you might have a code in your app where you don't know if it will throw an error or not. Imagine that you're reaching out to some kind of server and you try to get data, and the server might be offline. You can't control this, you might get an error, and you don't notice at the time you write your code. JavaScript got some helpers for this. It got the try-catch statement, and it works like this. You specify or you write try, this keyword, and then you have curly braces to indicate which code you want to try. And you can take this word literally. It will try to execute this code, but if it fails, it catches an error in parentheses, and then it will execute this code, this one here, if this error happened. And you can use this error, which gets passed here, in this code execution, for example, to simply log it to see what happened. But of course, in a real application, you might want to do more with that and not just log it. Then you can also add another statement finally, where you say, okay, no matter if this was successful, in which case this catch block would not get executed, or if this failed, in which case this will get executed, execute this code here at any time. So this should always get executed. So because you might have some cleanup work here or anything like that. So here you might just print anything or do anything which should always be done. Now what could I try here which will throw an error, as I will demonstrate this? Well, I'll just try to call a function which doesn't exist. Now of course this is an error you should be able to prevent when writing your code, because you should know which functions you do have and not. But I think you get my point, that I'm just demonstrating a way or just want to show a way where we will get an error. So now if I hit run, what do you think we'll see? Well, we get the error printed out here, and then we get finally. So this is a really cool way of making sure that in the case of an error, your code doesn't just quit or your program doesn't just crash, but instead it continues, and you can use that error or ignore it if you don't want to use it. But the main important thing is you can prevent your application from crashing, and you can make sure that you have some code which will be executed in either case in the finally statement here. So try catch finally, really useful tool in your application, and certainly do take care or do use this if you do have code where you're not sure if it will run fine or not.